What's up, YouTube, and welcome to another exciting personal finance video where I'm talking about gold, silver, stocks, investing, all that good stuff. First off, quick disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take anything I say as financial advice by any means. Do your own research and consult a financial advisor before making any major financial decisions. All right, guys. Okay, so let's get into this video. First off, if you haven't checked it out already, I published my passive income statement a few days ago on my website, myroadtowealthandfreedom.com. You can also like this video, subscribe to my channel, guys. Thanks so much. I really appreciate all the support. I noticed like my subscriber base here on YouTube is slowly building. My website, I have almost, I think 3,300 subscribers. I forget what the last count was, but thanks so much, guys, for your support. I really appreciate it. It means so much. Hopefully we can keep these conversations going. Yeah, August was a great month. I think around 2,500, a little over that, maybe 2,600, something like that in passive income. Of course, as I said in my last video, and I've said this a few times before, I sincerely believe that the number one problem that most people have is simply they just don't have enough money. They don't have enough money to survive. They're always, living paycheck to paycheck, mired in debt, no savings. I don't know. There's a million reasons why we all end up in these situations. Maybe you spend too much house, too much car, not making enough money. You need to work another job, whatever. You have too much debt from school. Maybe you get a big student loan or whatever. How we get there is really not all that important. What's important is what are you going to do today? What are you going to do about it to get yourself out of that situation? And for investors, I sincerely believe I've done this myself. My whole investing career, which has been, I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that. I like to buy assets that generate income. What does that mean? I buy things like stocks that pay me a dividend. I buy real estate that has cash flow positive. I like that stuff, so that if I lose my job, I'm not screwed. I'm not pooched. I still have some form of income coming in. You can start a website. I've started a website. My blog that generates a small amount of passive income. Well, I wouldn't say passive because I write and I do all this work for it, but you get what I'm saying. You want to create things that will pay you basically. Because then not only do you get the money from your job, and if you're smart with your money, you're strategic, you manage it well, you're actually going to be able to save some of that money. You're going to be able to buy more investments, things like gold and silver, as you can see here, or stocks, or bonds, or real estate, whatever your thing is, or maybe a little bit of everything. Nothing wrong with that either. But anyway, when you have things paying you money, if you invest in assets that generate passive income, your wealth will grow exponentially. It's literally like I'm at the point now, it's almost as though I got somebody else. I work, my wife works, but our passive income is almost as much as what we make in the run of a month. So, and that's important. And that is money that is being reinvested. It's buying more shares in stocks, or maybe I use that money to pay down debt that I can't write off for tax purposes, or maybe I use that and just stick it in things like this: gold and silver, tangible, hard assets that over the long term protects your wealth, preserves your wealth, and is a big diversifier. Now more than ever, after we've seen what happened back in March, people losing their jobs. It's been so hard out there for so many people, and virtually everybody was caught unprepared. After the big financial crisis a few years ago, um, so many people lost their jobs. So many people fell on hard times. People lost their homes. It's just like their whole life collapses. Like I really do feel for those people. I never want to be in that situation. I never want to put my family through that. And I've like from day one, if you get a decent paying job, or you're making a little bit of extra money on the side or whatever, you know you got a good thing going. Save it, invest it, be smart with your money because you just never know. The government's not always going to be there to pull your feet out of the fire. You know what I mean? There's only so much money that they can print and borrow and whatever. Um, so don't rely on government handouts basically because yeah they covered people for 5 months 6 months whatever a few months anyway, but then what comes next? What if this drags on for much longer? What are you going to do? Don't be caught like that. Just try to develop streams of passive income. It could be if you write a little book. Some people have written like these little children's books and published them on Kindle, and they make a little bit of money. Maybe it's $100 a month or whatever. Well, what's 100? Like every little bit counts, especially when we're going through times like these, especially when everything is so uncertain. Um, you definitely want that extra cash coming in. You want to protect yourself. You want to have that flexibility. Because the big thing too, if you're investing, if you are an investor right now, and you don't have to have $100 million to be an investor, the average person with a pension fund or 401k or an RSP or whatever, you are an investor, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. What that extra cash does is that prevents you from doing stupid things like selling at the bottom of a stock market crash. So many people sold out in 2009, and they like what happened a year later. It was like almost completely recovered. So don't do that. Don't be a victim in these situations. Be smart, have a plan, be strategic, make your moves deliberately, slowly, and with a lot of thought before you just panic and sell, or you panic and do, or even panic and buy gold. You don't have to do this. There are reasons that we should be investing in various things. There are all kinds of reasons for that. Just know what you're doing, and like I said, if you got a little bit of passive income coming in on the side, that is a huge relief. $2,500, or I think back in July it was $3,800. Like that's just an extraordinary amount of money for an average guy. For Warren Buffett, that's nothing. But $3,000 a month, that's literally what the vast majority of people, that's literally their take home pay for the month. Just imagine what you could do with that money. Maybe you use that to pay your mortgage, or you use that to pay all your bills and living expenses and groceries and stuff, and then you just bank the rest of your money, or you can do whatever. It doesn't really matter. And that's the great thing about investment income. It's not free money. You've suffered and saved and managed to set aside money to invest to receive that passive income. So it's not free money. Some people, think their dividends are free and it's all just great. It's not. You've actually put up your money. You put your money at risk buying a stock that could go up or down. You have no way of knowing. And when we run into market sell-offs like that's happening right now, you could lose a lot of money. Say you get a $1 a year in dividend and you put $100 at risk to get that. And then your stock goes down to $50. Well, you lost $50, right? Or actually, no, with the dollar dividend, you lost $49. I mean, be smart with your passive income. My whole thing about passive income is this: it's like a little trickle in the beginning. If you don't have much money, if you're only investing, say $100 a month or something like that, it's peanuts, really. You're getting like pennies, 10 cents in dividends or whatever. It's negligible. It is nothing. But over time, that will grow to a huge amount of money, provided you keep investing, you keep playing it smart, you keep saving money, reinvest that money into buying more shares. You will see it's like the snowball effect. It's like Dave Ramsey always talks about this debt snowball. Well, this is like a dividend income snowball or passive income snowball. It doesn't matter. That will soar. You'll see it grow and grow year after year after year. Every year in January, I make these I set aside my annual goals. Hey, this is what I want to do this year. I want to make, say, $25,000 in passive income. Um, and when I'm doing that in January, I'm like, oh my God, that is like a crazy goal. I'm not going to be able to do it. And let's say you just made like 20 grand or 21,000, something like that. That's a pretty big jump. It's a 20 some percent. Um, Basically to get $5, you need to invest probably around $100. So if you're gonna like talk thousands and thousands, like you need like a fortune to invest, or you're lucky enough to catch the market at like a bottom, like back in March, or possibly even what's happening right now. It's hard to say right now whether this is a huge buying event or not, or if it's the big one, the big crash. We don't know, and that's the thing. You never will know. Hindsight is always 2020 when it comes to this stuff, and you got to just kind of take it as it comes. However, what I want to say was what I always forget. If I do nothing, if I don't invest one penny, my passive income alone will add about anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 a year in my annual passive income. That's if I do nothing. If I do nothing and say, what, this year I'm just going to take a break from investing, I'm not going to do whatever, that passive income will grow itself by that much. And it happens for a few reasons. Number one, that money is always reinvested. So I'm always buying more shares in companies or more ETFs or whatever. And so as you accumulate more, you get paid a little more. But the other thing too is a lot of my stocks that I own, my good solid dividend stocks, they increase their dividends usually every year, anywhere from 5 to 10%, whatever, depending on the stock, depending on how good they've done or how bad or whatever. So just for doing nothing, you get an increase anyway. Like that's almost like a pay raise, all like a guaranteed pay raise all the time. I always say to people like, I've worked at this job. I've been at almost 10 years. I've barely gotten more than a 1% pay raise, if that, most years. Whereas through my dividend stocks, the average is around like 7% or something like that every year. So I'm asking all of you guys, what's it better to be? Do you want to be a worker or do you want to be an investor? Clearly, the investors are the ones that like make out like bandits. And what's funny is that like you can work for a nice like blue chip company making decent money. Your salary or your hourly wage or whatever goes up hardly anything. You don't get a raise. But that same blue chip company will reward its investors with a significant dividend increase. It's just crazy. But hey, these are people, investors are usually the people who put their money at risk, put their capital at risk. So anyways, guys, moving on right now. We're in a big market crash. I just wrote a post today. Is this the Black September market crash? Most of the big stock market crashes have happened in October. I believe it was October 1987, 1929, 2008. Although in 08, 09, it just kept going down literally until March of 09. But, September has historically been one of the worst months for stocks. It has been like the worst track record ever. We're coming off a massive rally, particularly tech stocks, which is exactly the things that have been hit hard yesterday and again today. But it's kind of bringing the general market down too. I see some bank stocks are down, energy's falling. Gold stocks are just getting creamed. They're getting hammered. Not only are they in the middle of a market sell-off, but we had some really decent job reports come out today. So I forget the numbers exactly. In the US, it was like 1.4 million jobs added, brought the unemployment rate down to about 8% or something like that. That's not horrible. Is it great? Are we back to where we were in February? Hell no. We're not even close. But it is a step in the right direction. And if things keep going the way they are, maybe, just maybe, we might kind of get through this without like a major market sell-off or financial crisis or whatever. For sure, there's going to be lots of problems in the years ahead. Inflation, deflation, we're still on the fence on that one. Gold and silver are retreating, they're falling in price. If gold goes down anymore, if it drops, say, I don't know, another 10%, I don't know where it's going to go. You never know, because usually when precious metals go down, when commodities drop and stuff like that, they don't touch the sides. Like they go straight down. Um, I do think this time though, there's a lot of support for gold in particular, and maybe even silver, that will keep these prices sort of where they're at. There's been a lot of mines shut down. There's been a lot of like mints, refineries, and stuff like that. They're all kind of closed or operating at like vastly reduced capacity. So that might kind of keep demand and supply in check so that prices stay where they are. I don't know. But if we do get a massive drop, I'm going to be buying a few more of these bad boys. My beautiful Canadian maples. Yep. I'm on my way to 10 ounces. I get about 8.5, I think. I'd like to get 2 more maples. If it drops, if, like I said, if price drops significantly, I'm going to pick up 2 more maples. I want to buy those. I stick those away, put them in a safe spot, and just kind of like sit on them. Just keep it. Get your gold, and just sit on it. The other thing that I've been doing is I've been slowly building a position in energy stocks. I mentioned this in my last video. I've been buying Suncor Energy. Warren Buffett recently bought that. I'm not just doing it because I'm following Buffett into a trade that he might have done 5 months ago. I'm doing it because energy is cheap. Canadian oil is the most hated oil on earth. I want to be there. Exxon just got kicked out of the Dow. We use a crazy amount of oil each and every day. What are the chances that all of a sudden we're not going to use it? I don't see any miracle technology that has a scale yet to really disrupt our reliance on oil and gas as basically the foundation of our economy, of the global economy. So I'm making that bet. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I think maybe I might be able to double my money. If it just goes back to where it was in February before all this craziness happened, I would have doubled my money. If we end up in a commodity bull run that a lot of these gold bugs are talking about, oil should do very well. So anyway, that's my thought. That's sort of where I'm putting my money. I'm watching the financials too. If I see a big drop in financials, I might start nibbling. I might just kind of jump in. I always buy a little bit of everything. I buy telecoms, utilities, oil and gas, bank stocks, financials, things like insurers and that. I buy a little bit of everything because I really don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe banks do great. Maybe they do horribly. Maybe utilities will come roaring back, or oil will come. Like, you just don't know, and that's the thing. You want to be diversified. You want to spread your money around, but most importantly, guys, you want to make sure you're cashing in and you're getting some of that passive income. That's it for today's, guys. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom, for more great articles and just my thoughts on everything under the sun. Take care, guys.